I think it should be working. Let me know, okay? Every time I try to set it up, something goes weird. This is the traditional fan thing. It is still me, but hi. How are you doing? Today, I'm dressed up. So I think the sound should be working now. Let me know, okay? Hoi. Hoi. Hello from everywhere. France, Maryland. You know, the hair is actually bigger than what it appears on camera because I'm on a very long focal length. The reason being, it's technical. I need to be able to reach my camera, but if I put it on a very close focal length, then my face will be too big. But then when I'm like right size within the frame, the length is too, what is the word for it? The number of it is too big. So I am compressed. In reality, I should appear to have a bigger hair and more flat face and wider shoulder. But because of the compression of the lens, you're seeing a almost, what is that? iPhone standard lens photograph. Let me take a look at what is the focal length of this. I'm at 24, so this is pretty much iPhone without zoomed in. So, hello everyone from everywhere. Thank you for joining in. This is a... Ooh, what happened? My screen flashed for 1 second, everything went black. Hopefully it wasn't... And it came back, so I don't know. Should be okay. I'll wait for a bit and then see what happens. Yeah, there was like a 1 second quick flash. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm gonna play a very simple game for people who join at this moment. Okay, there's a very essential change I've made for my camera setup for today's streaming that is different from all my streaming and all my videos, weekly videos I've made sitting at this position. So if you looked at my weekly videos previously, it's the same place and the same setup. But today I changed one thing. Okay, I changed one thing. The first person to be able to tell that correctly, I'm gonna email me. I'm gonna send you something for fun. Okay? Let's just play that. Because I just decided to do it randomly at this point. Not previously planned, but the first person to tell. It's the camera setup, it's not me. Okay, so not on me, not on personally like the hair, any of that, but what you would be able to tell from this visual. The first person to answer it correctly. No, the lights is still on that side, never changed. There's one big change that is essential for filming. First person. And you have to be specific. You can't just say one word, okay? If you think something has changed, what is it? Exactly. My window hasn't changed. I have no ability to change what's outside of my window, just in case you, you realize we live in 3D world. Not the wider thing. I've talked about the wider thing too, because of live stream. And because I have to be able to reach the camera, so it has to be in a weirder distance to me than usual. Okay, the first person, I saw that. aka NAZ1, okay? Because in case I fuck up your name, you're the first person to have said it correctly. The light is on a different angle. It used to be coming from that side. If you've been watching my like 90 videos in the past 90 weeks, it all came from my right. Now it came from my left because I just want to play with it. So today the light is from this side, and the aka NAZ1 person, you're the first person to answer it correctly. Email me, okay? You know my email, right? Your mailing address. How random, okay? This is the random decision from a random YouTuber. Tuanshan, yes, this is a Rang fan, a rather traditional kind of women's special fan. I got this from obviously Taobao, but it's hand embroidery. I mean, not to the greatest quality. I probably could do a better job than this, but it's good enough. So it's the light, okay? Anybody is still wondering, you can look at my older videos and compare. You'll see previously the light comes from this side, so the shadow would be on this side. Now the light comes from that side and the shadow is on this side. Just a small change. To make my weird hairline look better, I'd say. My hairline is actually, like, both sides are even, but because all the hair on this side of my head grows backwards, like it literally, its direction is going back, and then all the hair on this side goes this direction, and it's just how the hair is naturally like. So whenever I pull my hair back, it looks like I have a more receding hairline on this side, but it's totally just due to the fact of the direction of the hair. So if I put the light on this side, it's just gonna make my forehead look even brighter and bigger. You know, one of those things only you notice, like nobody else care about, but hey, you know, whatever. This is still gonna be just a random chat stream about dramas that are ongoing. I have like 20 dramas on my list, can you believe it? 20. Either the dramas that I should be watching. There are 2 I've just crossed out from this list that I've finished watching. Some of them I've started halfway or something and haven't finished. Some of them haven't even clicked open and probably wouldn't, but I just wrote down the names the other day about all the dramas that are ongoing. And then there are a couple new ones that has just come in, like yesterday or today. This is crazy. 20 dramas? Like, can anyone deal with that? They're just too much stuff. And if it's just film, it's okay. 3 hours, 2 hours per film. You know, I can deal with 20 films a week. But I definitely cannot deal with 20 dramas a week. It's too insane. So, today we're gonna briefly talk about recent dramas that have been going on. There are too many, literally. Like, insane. And I know, a lot of people, like different people are watching different ones, so I won't be able to talk about every drama that you're gonna ask in the live chat, but I'll try to catch as much as stuff people are putting there and then talk about them or not talk about them if I don't know about them. Probably do not know all the names. Okay, so I have I'll let you know where I am at. I haven't started the 天幕危机, the one I talked about, which is a little bit soft sci-fi and a little bit ridiculous drama, with Zhang Rui and Liu Xueyi. I haven't clicked it open yet. I haven't clicked open the Liu Yong's crime drama that was made back in 2018 that I talked about in last week's video. I do want to, though. I'm keeping a note on that, just so that I will remember. Crush, I'm at around 12 or 13. I still have half to go on the drama Crush. I want to, so I will try. Stealth Walker, 玫瑰行者. I've just finished it on Tuesday. Okay, I ran through the whole thing. 乔家的儿女 The Bond. I am at episode 11 or 12. I don't really want to continue watching it. I'm gonna talk about it more specifically later, okay? Probably won't continue watching it, but it's very personal. It's not the drama is in any way problematic, it's just me. 天龙八部, the semi-god, devil, whatever, like how you translate the 金庸, the new 金庸one. I watched the first 2 episodes or something and I was like, no, goodbye. 双镜 Cup of Mirrors, I've just finished that on Monday. My life, hey? I ran through the whole drama on one whole day. Literally, my Monday was working and at the same time watching a drama. So I will be talking about it. There's a drama that's called some kind of detective drama that's ongoing right now. 双探, yeah, that one with 段奕宏, and I haven't clicked it open yet. I think it's about to air or just aired. 机智的上半场, that couple of young girls, university time drama that I've talked about too. I haven't started that one. A river runs through it, 上游. I'm also still at episode 12 or something. Only 1/3 of it. I have 2/3 to go through it. I know it has finished. 最酷的世界周雨彤 that drama haven't started yet. 我的砍价女王 I don't want to go into that drama because I clicked it open for 5 minutes and I want to run. Okay, I want to run for my life, literally because of what I've seen in that 5 minutes. 舍我其谁 also just started the Going to Your Heart, the Go game with 李兰迪 and 牛俊峰. Haven't started it. I already see snippets that's been cut and released on social media. Probably will go and check it out. 一生一世 and 周生如故, okay? I will go and watch 一生一世. As for 周生如故, I've watched also about 10 episodes or 12, I can't remember, 13, something like that. And then I didn't continue watching. I know what happens later, like the last episode, everybody knows, you know? I'm not so interested actually in the past life or story. I'm more interested in the contemporary one, so I will check out the contemporary one. Hopefully it wouldn't lose me halfway. So 周生如故, 一生一世, One and Only, and the it's the same thing, you know, that's being split into 2 dramas. You know which one I'm talking about. 任嘉伦 and 白鹿. 你好检察官 that just started. 孙怡, 张浩伟, hello procurator. I started like 2-3 episodes yesterday and I don't quite want to continue. It is very melodrama to me. 满月之下请相爱 Love Under the Full Moon, haven't started that one yet. I've looked at other people's comments on it and it's I'd say if you really have nothing good to do, you probably can check it out, but otherwise maybe not really worth your time drama. But then because Zheng Yecheng is in it, I probably will click it open just to look at him for a bit. 循环初恋 the first love again. The first 2-3 episodes are the only ones I've watched and never really got me in, so I haven't had time to check back on it. 与君歌 the Stand By Me, or the period drama with Cheng Yi and Zhang Yuxi. I don't think I'll go into it. It's already finished, I think. Yeah. And then there's one called 暗格里的秘密 Secret, something about a high school leading up to university, Chen Zheyuan and somebody, I can't remember. I haven't checked that one yet. So I've just gone through 20 dramas that's on my list. Either I'm watching or halfway or haven't even started, but I am aware of and maybe thinking about. Too much. And if there is a person out there watching my live stream who has managed to watch all 20 dramas, you should come and become a YouTuber. Just open your own channel and do it. This is just too much, you know? Like sometimes you're just inundated and you look at the list, you're like, I don't want to actually click open any of them because it's so overwhelming, you know? Like you look at the list and you don't even want to watch anything anymore just because the list is so long. So I am doing my work, really. I am, but I have other things to do, and dramas are ridiculous. They're 20, 30, 40, 50 episodes each one. And I know some of them I haven't mentioned their English name. You may not even realize that I talked about it, but I love Chinese drama land. Too much stuff gets made every year, and this is like not even comprehensive in any way about all the ongoing dramas that are ongoing now. There are more and more ridiculous ones. So I'm gonna start to look at the comments from now on. Sorry, I didn't catch up the earlier ones. I was looking at my notes. Whew. Forever and Ever. Oh yeah, that's the contemporary version's name. I mean, the first one and only, didn't really work on me, but I know it worked on a lot of people. I think it's the writing of One and Only. It's a fictional setup of a period setting, but it's kind of based on a couple of different times mixed up together. It has that sort of 魏晋, 南北, southern and northern dynasties divided country set up, plus the aristocrat clans power played in that. So it's kind of set up at that time, but it's not really based on any real history. And my point of watching the One and Only is I know it's a romantic story that has like a previous lifetime story in it, so it's not necessarily that they have to be very accurate to historical things, but there are a lot of details that just very much does not make sense for an imperial court system, politics, how people really how that whole thing works, like armies, like what is considered to be a big general, what is considered to be a big military power, how much power you have to be a threat, and then if you're in the position, what are the let's just say what you should be aware of or be able to do, or like all that. It's so romantic story centered that it kind of disregards a lot of the setup background reality, that I find it's really hard to believe the story that they're doing in all kinds of details. That's why One and Only couldn't really get me, which is, on one hand, I can tell Bai Lu and Ren Jialong are pretty good, and they look good, and it's, you know, a very classic sort of tragedy romantic story. But on the other hand, when I look at the court setup, the logics of basically she being a student of him is just totally, like, it does not make sense for that setup at all. So that creates a problem, at least for me, to actually 100% believing what is going on screen. I'm pretty sure once it gets to contemporary time, it will be much better, because at least it will make sense in that department. But it's just me. It's just me. And then the Bond I've mentioned earlier. The Bond. The reason that I don't want to continue watching passing episode 12. So after the brother Qiao Yicheng, Bai Yu's character started officially working for the news television station, it just it just it just raises my blood pressure too much. Because every episode, some kind of crappy, shitty thing happens to this family. You know, the daughters don't have a good, like, the relationships with, like, the crappy guys, the horrible father, the whatever, like, it's just every episode is a roller coaster of emotional pain, and it just raises your blood pressure too much. And while I was watching the drama, I feel like I am a bloated, you know what's the name of the fish? That when it gets threatened or angry, it just goes big with spikes and it's poisonous. I can't remember the English name for that fish. It's a Japanese delicacy kind of thing. I become a blowed up, like a blown fish. Like I just get too angry and I'm like, oh shit, what the that drama just makes me pufferfish. I just become a human pufferfish. I couldn't continue. Like I literally feel like the blood is running on like my neck. I'm like, health, okay? My health is more important than watching a drama. So I stopped watching it because it makes me go exploding. I'm just too pissed off by all the crappy things that happen. And I was like, why do I, you know, like, life is effed up enough? So it's like, I don't want more. I don't want more. I don't want to just like die because suddenly like a vein broke in my brain and I just died and people didn't even realize what happened because the drama would be still playing on my computer and it will stop at some point. And I don't know, it's just gonna get ridiculous. So I quit. Not because I don't like any of the actors. I really like them. I think that they all did a very good job. Great casting. 白宇、张晚意、毛晓彤、宋祖儿, they all did it. Like even the father's actor, can't remember his name. Everybody is a great actor, okay, in that drama, and it's not bad. It's just so anger-inducing. So I didn't continue, and because I haven't finished it, I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to make a review on it. But I just can't watch it. Like I have to wait, you know, whether I die of anger. You know. Thank you for Dennis for your super chat. So, okay. I've seen earlier on somebody was asking, do I think certain drama will air the BL adaptation? I hope they could. I really look forward to Chase the Light, but it may just get. I don't think it will be banned, but now is not a good time for it to come out. I mean, within this year, probably entire BL thing is gonna be really, really quiet. Not happening. We're hoping next year, maybe one of them at least can come out. One of them. Or I don't know, cause there's no clear policy or any just like one-liner coming out from Top Down say, from now on it's all dead. We're not gonna show any BL dramas. Stop. Full stop. No, there's nothing like that. But it's likely it's gonna be put on hold for a while. As for how long that while is gonna be, your guess is good as mine. Oh, Pandora's Box. Thank you for you. Somebody typing that. I haven't watched it yet. Because I watched the snippet of Zhang Rui's character trying to convince a group of professors of physics about a cat. And I was like, no, holy moly. That's a thought experiment. Is that Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment about a cat who is alive but dead at the same time. And that is like a quantum mechanics thought experiment. You can't do it in reality. You certainly cannot do that with a group of professors and telling them, think about the cat is alive, think about the cat is alive, and the cat didn't die, therefore it proves that it works. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Come on, you're really? Seriously? So that part just make me. I'm not sure if I want to continue watching the Pandora's Box because of that. That scene is just so ridiculous. I don't know, like, what kind of scriptwriter would even think of that plot? I mean, it's so embarrassing. New season 魔道祖师 the animation, it's on my list. I will watch it. I will. I haven't started it, but I will. Yeah, see, animation, drama, film, like so many things. Variety, right? Where do I ever get the time? Variety. Oh, I mean, I'm so behind Street Dance and Call Me by Fire. Oh, come on. They're so long. Each episode is like 3 hours. Oh. Hear me whimper. Danger Zone. I should. Hey, it's also on my list. I didn't write it down, but I should. Yeah, life. Danger Zone. I will. Okay. When I. The Justice. I watched the first episode of Call Me by Fire. Didn't go back. I haven't had time, but I like those older guys. Street Dance is good. Street Dance this year got more money, and so they invited some like bigger stars in the world arena of street dancing. I know that. Some of them are very impressive. Gongjun. Yeah, I was made aware of it when I woke up this morning. My friend sent me a message, but mostly people are just saying his studio, because he's a 个体户, right? He basically, he doesn't have a company. You know, he's not signed under any big agency. He's his own boss, and he has a team of 5 people or something in total. And we're all laughing. We're like, we're thinking maybe his team plus himself, which is like 4 people, they created their own 党支部. If any Chinese person know what that is about, okay? Because every time something happens, they react at lightning speed. And often he sends out those announcements, claims and stuff from their studio with the official stamp faster than people realized what has happened. So basically, internet hasn't even caught up with what is going on, and they already reacted. And we're all laughing. It's like, I mean, seriously doubting they actually have a in operation 党支部, and his entire team is a 党支部, okay? And they're like, they probably do like studies of documents, you know, important documents every year. Those red-headed documents that is like, okay, let's be aware of this thing that is ongoing recently, and then we have to, like, the reaction time and how they react to it is like some highly politically sensitive people are on his team, and himself too. Like he is he has been lurking those groups online that are about like Chinese 反黑战, literally 反黑 international rumors about China. Like he's an active member of those groups, so it's just funny. And then my friend sent this to me, and he was like, "Yeah, he did it again." And I was like, "Okay, cool, expected." So it's definitely just somebody who's trying to make up tales about it, and it's funny, really. And he is very, I think he's very sensitive about the politics and stuff, and he probably is more aware of that than an average person who is not in the entertainment business in China, really. So very safe. Remembrance of things past, maybe not making a final review just because I don't have that many time slots to make reviews about everything I've watched, but it's a good drama. Okay. All the way through. I like it. I I think it's definitely the biggest surprise this year for me. In the I mean, excluding like the BL dramas, obviously, the normal standard contemporary setting, young people's life kind of drama, focused drama. That one is my biggest surprise. Remembrance of things past. Very, very well written and very well made and good. Yeah, Gong Jun's team is good. It's good. What can we say, hey? So, as for the rumors that, you know, all the gossips, it's just too much. Ever since July, really, starting with Wu Fan's thing fermenting and exploding, and then through August, and up to this point, we've had about 2 weeks relative silence. But who knows? Maybe even bigger melons is on the way. You never know. Because of all the turbulence, craziness, you know, so we should just sit and wait, because probably more will be reviewed later. And if anyone wants to join the Discord, maybe at the end of this month we're gonna reopen it, because we've been on the Discord servers. Supposedly there are over 3,000 people, like close to 4,000 on my Discord, but really active people are about 1,000 of them are active. A lot of people are not active, and then I've disabled people from joining in for now, and then probably we'll reopen it end of this month or maybe October beginning. We shall see. Because not that many people really use Discord, I know. I mean, for everybody who's watching my live stream, I don't think many people are like very interested in. I hardly get on there, but I've been getting a moderators team on there and then getting things sorted out better. Because that server has been running for 2.5 years without any management, miraculously. So now it's getting more people to look after it. Should be a better running place. So I'll see what happens later this month, depending on whether things are crazy or not. Who knows? Anything can happen. Usually speaking, October is the starting of the next year's energy. If anyone cares about the art of numerology and astrology and whatever, because 10, 11, 12 is essentially 1, 2, 3. So usually it is a precursor of next year's first 3 month energy, kind of a version of it. So likely the type of energy that you experience in October repeats in its official form in January. And I'm just being superstitious. Zhao Wei, you know, there hasn't been any like development in terms of an official body comes out and say exactly, because A, B, C, D, E list of things she did, this is what happened to her. I mean, there hasn't been one since it happened. It's just like one overnight, right, on the 26th, 27th. Overnight, her stuff gets deleted. But a lot of the taken down of the dramas are actually decisions made by the platforms themselves. Nobody told them to do it. but they decided to do it. So likelihood is within the industry, within the entertainment business, there's definitely a confirmed something about her, and therefore she's unlikely to come back, you know, as an actress or as a big player in the industry. And because of it is sensitive about this and that and what she did, whatever. So the platforms they pretty much just want to save their own ass. So they took down a lot of the stuff that has she in it. But exactly, I mean, she has previously done enough things, okay, that could have just been cancelled her, but hasn't happened yet. It could just be like the previous things that's piled up and stuck up to this point. Now is like finally, you know, like we get solution to it. One of her biggest problems she did was her husband and her insider trading of in the stock market, and they've done a couple of huge deals, huge ones, and actually caused a lot of stock market just individuals, you know, people like you and me who do not have capitals backing and that type of thing, lost a lot of money. And because of their dealings, they've been banned 5 years from doing any sort of thing in the stock market previously. It could just be one of those things, you know, that she's done, or it could relate to recently what has just happened in the city Hangzhou, which is where Alibaba is based. Its top governmental level officials, couple of them got found that has very big problems, okay, like bribery, taking bribes and doing whatever corruption and whatever personal favor, all that. And because Hangzhou is where Alibaba is, and it could be, and very likely is, Alibaba has something to do with those people's fall. And then it could be that one of those officials who got in there outed what kind of capital, what kind of money is doing what kind of thing to him, and it could be one of the reasons that triggered this whole thing. But I mean, it's something that kind of is in the making for years now. It's just finally gotten to a ripened fruit stage. Exactly what the reasons, we may see it soon, we may not, who knows. Yeah, the insider trading thing is huge. She did, like, I think the record holding thing is so basically they go buy those shell companies and then they put them on IPO and then like cut the money from the stock market like crazy. I think her highest record is earning over 20 billion in one day. RMB. Is it? I can't remember if that's the number, but it's in the billions. It's in the billions in terms of what she gets through the underregulated doings in the stock market. But exactly why this time she's gone, we have to wait and see. Who knows? A lot of things are going on in entertainment. So the best thing, you know, for every actor or any popular idols or whatever producers, directors, productions, is to stay low-key, like as low as possible. Just don't stick your head up at this point. Niangpao ban. It's just, okay, first, the Niangpao thing is very ridiculous. Most of the people I can see on internet is just laughing at the wrong terms usage. I mean, even Chinese woman, like newspaper, the official publication of Chinese woman, have many years ago determined a couple of terms in Chinese language that is misogyny, you know. terms. One of them is 娘炮. And so it's really funny to see other official Chinese organizations using that word in their very official kind of regulation stuff. And everybody is a lot. Like, I mean, all the sensible people I can see who are talking about this on internet is like, what the fuck is the use of that language? And it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, just because if a man is, likes to dress up, likes to look very well groomed and somehow, that has nothing to do with with like whether they're good or bad in any sense. So it's, at least like everybody I can see is like, what the F is this stupid thing? Okay, so it's stupid. It's just stupid. That's it. And it made a lot of people go like, seriously? But honestly, that's also not the most important thing. It's just one of the things that got mentioned. The biggest target is still the type of capitalist manipulation behind this business. Illegal monies, illegal capitals, and also the basically the influence on young people. Making the youngsters these days not wanting to work on their studies or whatever and spending money. Like there are stories that are pretty extreme. I think there's a girl. The other day I just saw a story about a middle school girl who is at boarding school, so she doesn't go home every day. She kind of goes home a couple of months once to spend money for her idol, to put them on the chart, spend money to buy their albums and do whatever. She ate instant noodle and nothing else to save money for an entire term. So every day she eats 3 instant noodle pots and not anything else because she has no money left. And her like an elder relatives one day went to her dormitory to check on her, and just realized like she lost so much weight and just doesn't look right, and then realized her tampons and her sanitary stuff that she, like, her relatives bought for her a month ago are untouched in her cupboard. And so the older relative, like aunt, is like, what the heck happened to you? And she's like, she hasn't had periods for a month because she hasn't been eating well. And because she spent all the money for Fandom. Like, this is the type of thing that is just like too much and should be targeted. And why this Fandom thing needs to get sorted out, because it's just insane. But this definitely is extreme case, right? But it happens. It happens. And there are also like people who are very poor. Like the family don't really have that much money to support them. They steal their parents' money to do these things too. I mean, you see those stories coming out all the time, and you're like, what the fuck is that? So that is the problem, right? That is the biggest problem. And along with it is some ridiculous 娘炮 thing going on, which just is like, I mean the higher ups, right? The older people who are sitting there and making policies and talking about, like, doing conferences and having like, they're not necessarily so caught up, let's say, with the world's, what's going on in the world these days. Not necessarily everybody is very well caught up. And a lot of those idols who are mass produced by those companies, young guys mostly, because most of the fandom is young girls. Majority of the fan army are made up with young girls, and so their idols are mostly young males. Obviously there are women, but in the proportional speaking, there's a quite clear majority. A lot of those young idols who are totally just created by those companies. Like they tend to have that look, right? They tend to be very pale skin. They have like dyed hair. They have like earrings, and they are made up all the time. So in a way to target this type of unhealthy fandom and idol producing, almost like a mass manufacturing of idols, the type of images they represent also get targeted. But the fact is, honestly, those guys, they're just made up to stand in front of the camera to look like that. When they're not on camera, they probably are not wearing any of those things. And they do have six packs, most of them, okay? So they are more men than most of the big belly, beer bellied guy who are sitting there and making policies, who never ever went to gym for once in their life. So let's talk about who is more male or not, or who's more masculine or not. Okay, at least those idols can dance, can run, they have biceps, they have abs. Okay? And those like beer-bellied old fat guys, okay, come on, you're losing all your hair, okay? And you have oil dripping down your face, and you're gonna talk about masculinity? Really? So it's ridiculous, you know? Like, so I find that is just stupid about targeting the so-called like nyangpao. I'm like, those nyangpao guys probably will punch you and put you down in 1 second if you come across them. So that part is definitely ridiculous, but I definitely second the very tight sort of from top down control and regulation, and attempt at least to put a damper on the ridiculous fandom culture that is ongoing these days. K-pop in China, the banning is not really mostly due to this. It has been going on for years, you know, because of American, because of the missile, and because of South Korean, and because of that thing, right? So K-pop, K-drama have been kind of banned since then, and hasn't really changed, and it's totally a political move. But also K-pop is the start of this type of fandom culture, right? We can trace it back to Japan earlier on, back in, I mean, as early as 60s, 70s in Japan, they have the fandom culture starting. But once it got to South Korea, it got to the current version, and then China kind of took the worst of it. I don't know about Xianxia and China and its scheduling thing. I have no idea. I'm actually not paying any attention to that film at all. I didn't even realize it's on. I haven't been in the cinema for 2 years now, and I still am not gonna go until this whole thing goes away. Right? I'm not gonna go into an enclosed space and sit there for 2 hours with people I don't know. These days. Even if I'm wearing masks, it's still not a good idea. So I'm not going to cinema. Therefore, I probably wouldn't watch it. And I'm not that interested. Because this, I know, ever since the beginning of this IP, a lot of controversial things are ongoing. But to start with, I have no idea what this IP is. I never know this character. I don't quite care about it. And then after reading a little bit about his background, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to watch it. I don't care. So it's not a Chinese story, you know. It's not like Hua Mulan, who is a folklore person that started in Chinese poetry and then got, you know, into all kinds of versions. This character is totally Westerner imagined and made, and like I don't know his background story, and I don't quite care about it. So probably am not gonna watch it. I know Liang Chaowei is in it, but honestly, he has a lot of other films that I can watch. So I have no idea because I don't know who, like, I have no idea about the story and who are the main actors. Apart from I know Tony Leung is in it. And I'm like, okay, fine. But it's not something I'm gonna check out anyway to start with. So whatever happens. And also like the aesthetic wise, everything about looks of people, you know, actors, actresses, their styling, their makeup, their look, what they look like naturally. The West and China have very different aesthetics. So usually who is the people who Chinese audience would consider to be good looking often just falls blank sometimes in the Western mainstream film land. And then what Chinese people consider to be ordinary looking and even ugly looking people, somehow, you know, like there's definitely a gap between how people view what is pretty and not, which again confirms that beauty is subjective. So, a lot of the elements in those type of West-made films will just look wrong. It just wouldn't sit right for Chinese audiences. And it kind of goes into everything. And it's very hard to say specifically what exactly makes people go, yeah, this doesn't look right. But they know when it doesn't look right. That type of thing. Very tricky. Talk about what? You on my left shoulder doing Chase the Light? I don't know what I can talk about it. I don't know when it's gonna come out, whether it's gonna come out. There's no promotion, like no BL drama would be promoting themselves at this point in time. They're just all want to stay low profile. And it's better, nobody see me, you know, like all the BL dramas are like this. Right now, it's like, I do not exist, I do not exist, I do not exist, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me. Let me go, let me go, let me go, let me sleep, let me sleep. That's all BL dramas right now. My thought on Dylan's Brows being on C, that's a film, right? That's not a drama, it's a film. It's the Turandot, like the opera based. It's a film. Somebody asked. Azila. I don't even know who he is. Sorry about that. I know that face because I've seen the poster. So I know there's a person, all right? But I'm like, who is he? Like, I have no idea, so sorry about that. Denmark is bad culture. Don't care about what those official stuff say. Like, I mean, they say this is bad, that is bad. It's not gonna change anything. It's like they say computer games are all bad. They're still professional players in China. And honestly, a lot of those people who are talking about these things, you know, BL or boy love adaptation, which is dangai, danmei, they don't even know what they're talking about. They have no idea how to distinguish real homosexual relationships in real world, and then BL, and where it comes from, and what is BL, and then BL adaptation. You know, they have no idea what's the difference. So they don't know what they're talking about, really. It takes too much effort to make them like be aware of like what is it. Thank you for GP Boo. Your name. You love double vows. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you. Canceling dramas because one person's fault, despite the drama has hundreds of people's hard work. Well, you have to look at that problem in two ways, which is first, it is a bit unfair because it has another 500 people's work in it. But to counter that point is they've all got paid. You know, they did get paid, and it's already in the past. But it's just because of the nature of the product. It's not like food. You cook it and you eat it, it's gone, or it turned into poops. Dramas, once it's made, it's there. Okay, it's like a painting. Once it's, as long as the museum doesn't catch fire, it's still there. But for example, if you're a painter and you did it and people paid your commission, it's theirs. Whatever happens to that, really, your work is already compensated in that way. So to say that, right, the people who lost anything, it's sad, but then they didn't necessarily lose what they got from it. And I think those type of dramas should still exist in certain ways, maybe like in the archive or somewhere. But the reason for taking down stuff that contains those people is to stop their influence from further stop them from further influencing future comers and people, or to make a case of it so that people know you shouldn't be doing things and this will have consequences. Because on the other hand, if somebody really like Chris Wu, who, you know what happened, right? And if he did that and he's in jail for it, and then still his work is circulating, and it's like, in a way, it's showing it doesn't matter. You know, you're still gonna be, you can still have fans and collecting all that influence and stuff. So is it really, like, is it fair to people who haven't done anything, who are still working very hard in this industry? So you can look at it from different angles of this problem. And I mean, people can hold a debate on it. I would love to see how many points people can come up with talking about this issue. It's pretty interesting. But I don't think it's a black and white thing. And it definitely is not like one-liner. You know, it's like, this is good, that is bad. And it's more like, because of this reason, this needs to be done. Because of that reason, it needs to be done. And everybody kind of state their reason, and they're all kind of quite valid. Then it depends on sort of the people who really have the power to call, you know, to make the last call, to decide which reason is more important than others. So, and also, it is just taking them down from streaming sites is only because currently that's the most common way for people to consume stuff. I mean, previously, when there wasn't internet, when there wasn't streaming platforms, you either watch it from television, broadcasting it to you, or you go and buy DVDs and CDs and whatever VHS tapes. And if you've got the tape and then, you know, like, it's with you, as long as it's still working and as your player is still working, it will still be with you and nobody can take it away because it's like, you know, that's your property. It is because now most people consume their content on internet. Therefore, there is a way to do that. Therefore, they do it. So doing it is more like a gesture. It's like an official gesture and saying we do not accept this type of people, and we want to make people be aware that if you do this, this is a consequence. But honestly, if you still want to watch that particular drama that got taken down, it's everywhere. Type in the name and just search, you know, online cloud storage or any particular BitTorrent site for seeds. You're gonna get it literally with typing one line. And you can download it onto your hard drive and it's gonna be with you still. So it's not like there is no way to get around it. If you really want to see the particular work, it's still there. It's just for the appearance sake and kind of stating a point sake from the official standpoint of view. We do not encourage and we would not want to give this type of behavior future ground for. So we have to show you that this is our attitude, but then they can't erase the data on your hard drive, you know? And I have all Word of Honor, all its special feature, all its episodes, all kind of interviews, the 2 concerts. I have them all. Oh, I even have it on Youku's backend. Like you can download it into the app. So now the drama is off, but it's still on my iPad. I can even open it up with live comments. It's just never gonna get updated anymore because it's all the old live comments. You're not gonna get new ones, but the old ones are still there. So. It doesn't really create a real loss for me. It's just like, you know, yeah, it's kind of, it makes my March to May looks very ridiculous in a way, but it's funny and I accept it. I mean, all my Bilibili videos, I have like over 20 Bilibili videos I've made, and most of them are on YouTube, my second channel, but a couple of them are not because they're completely in Chinese, so I didn't put them on the my Avenue Extra. But for the rest, they're all the most complete version was on Bilibili, and they've all gotten erased, like literally locked down by the back end of Bilibili. So now I only have the reverse playing, the two Guqing songs, 天问 and 孤梦 slash 天涯客 that are about word of honor on my Bilibili. Everything else back end is locked down, and there's nothing I can do about it because they're just like, you know, we're gonna take down everything. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. But I do have all the live comments downloaded before this. So I have the thousands and thousands of live comments on those videos on Bilibili that I've downloaded as ASS file. Anyone who knows about those, like you can download subtitles, right, and then put it into a player like VLC, and you have, as long as the title of the MP4 file and the ASS file is the same and under the same folder, when you play, it would just automatically load. So I still have a version to enjoy my like 5,000 live comments on my Word of Honor edit on my own desktop computer. So like I took down everything the data to minimize my loss. But the thing is, on Bilibili, those videos are no longer public. Like apart from the people who have saved it. And probably this is gonna be a common thing that's gonna happen over and over again in the future. And what can we do? Brave new world, people. We're in the internet age of brave new world. The Chinese ones on YouTube, probably not, because it's just... Okay, I would have to English subtitle it, and I don't want to do it. It's too much work. It's like adding together about 60 minutes of talks. And can you imagine 60 minutes, how much subtitling and translation? Ugh. I'm not gonna do it for free. It's too much. Who's my favorite captain in Street Dance? I don't have a favorite one. I just enjoy all of them dancing. Cause I'm not a fan of it. Like I look at them and I was like, whoa, that is cool. That is cool. Okay, yeah. But personally, I'm not a fan of any of those people. I'm just like, it looks cool, the dancing. So, what else? Let me think. That's worth talking about. Well, I'm glad, Pastor Bunny, that I have the Hypnotizing power. Chinese doctors in a movie? I don't know. Is it online? If it's in cinema, I can't. If it's online, maybe. FAE, what is that? Tom, I have no idea what that is. So a lot of people are asking repeated questions that I've already talked about. I guess like when this is over, you can check out the replay. Rent video coming up? It depends on if I've seen a rent-worthy drama that is so rent-worthy. Probably there are a lot, but I don't even want to click them open. I know there are currently many period idol drama ongoing on all platforms. There are a couple, 5 or 6 of them that are all ongoing that are just ridiculous. Poor quality, ugly leading guys, okay? Because if anyone watches Bilibili and stuff like that, drama reviews, recently many content creators have made videos on how ugly men are compared to women these days in idol period dramas. So costume dramas setting in fictional dynasties with people all dressed up like me, for example. But all the girls, the leading girls, are pretty actresses, and the guys are just one after another is like looking uglier and uglier and uglier. And people are making videos to laugh at that situation, and I find it's really funny. And it's true. It's true. The level of good-lookingness, right, of the female sex versus the male sex in those idol period low-budget productions are ridiculous. The gap between them, like the girls are all super pretty, and the guys are like, where did you come from? Why are you in the period drama? My eyes! They're so eyesore, really. I know, attacking people, you know, like your looks and stuff, but if we put political correctness, okay? If we put political correctness aside for a second and forget about it, and just being honest to our human natural biological reactions and feelings, some of those people are just like, come on, really? I'm gonna have to look at your face as a lead of the drama, and looking at such a pretty girl just fall in love with you, and looking at you with that puppy eye admiration. Oh, you're such a good looking guy. You're the most good looking guy. Wow, this guy is so handsome. I'm gonna throw up because it's so not true. Anyone with eyes can tell. And it's just too ridiculous. It's just too ridiculous, really. And I agree with those videos, because some of the people, it's like, if he's like a normal contemporary guy walking on the street, I probably wouldn't say there's anything wrong with their look or anything, but please, when you're in the period drama, there are things, you know, like the hair, because of the wig situation, the costume, the hair, really it just works on particular type of people very well, but it doesn't apply to everyone. And on certain people, it would just look bad. Plainly, that's it. And the wig is a huge thing. And sometimes because wig doesn't work for a particular type of actor, they would literally use their own hair for the first half, like the top part of their front part of their face, so it doesn't look ridiculous. A couple of actors you can think of is Zhang Zhehan is one of them. Like when he has a full wig, he doesn't look as good as when he has his own hair at the front. Also, Huo Jianhua, Wallace Huo, is one of those actors who would use his own hair. That looks much better, but once he does the wig thing, oh my god, it's just like something just is off, okay? And come on, like period dramas really is much more cruel on actors, and certain people just wouldn't work for it. So honesty is if you don't suit that type of, just don't do it. You know, why? You know, certain colors, certain style will make me look ridiculous, and I would never touch it. At least I know that. But somehow these people or the production crew or whatever, the producer, director, the actors themselves are like, they don't even know that they will look ridiculous when they look like that, and they still think whatever I look like, it's all gonna be fine. I'm like, no. So that is a funny thing that's been ongoing. Yeah, the Qing dynasty haircut is really cruel on people. You have to be ridiculously like well, like even your head shape has to be really good, not just your face, right? Your entire 3D of your head has to be in a really good shape to look good. Otherwise, it's disaster. So the best way to test if an Asian male actor is good looking, okay, is first test them with the Qing dynasty hair of a guy or the Japanese samurai. That one is even crueler, I'd say. The Japanese samurai that has all the hair removed, but that bit on top, only that little bit on top, that's been put, you know, in that shape. So for the Japanese samurai hair and for the Qing dynasty hair, for those two, like if you look great with that hair, or not having at least like 90% of your hair, then you are an amazingly good looking person. Obviously, if you look good as a monk, that also means you're really good looking. Shaven. Totally. Like not even the buzz cut. All the hair gone. You still look dashing. That means, wow, you're a good looking guy. Oh my god. So, it's definitely a line to test how your 颜值, how high is your 颜值. And it's like for women, there's less opportunity because hardly ever, apart from being a nun in Chinese sense, that you will have all your hair removed, other hairstyles are not in any way too ridiculous for women. But for guys, for guys, oh my god, there are just too many weird hairstyles in this world to test. Wang Anyu, yeah, Wang Anyu looks good in the Qing dynasty hair. Zhong Hanliang looks good. Wallace Zhong, because he's been in a couple of Qing dynasty setting drama when he actually had his head shaven, not like a bald cap. It's the entire hair shaven off and then sticking on the back half with the hair. He's been in a couple of dramas. He's played Kangxi. He's played in the. He's played 纳兰性德 in one of those older court dramas. He's even played another role, which is all Qing dynasty setting, even older. And all those dramas, he looks good. So he's good looking. Let's be honest. Zhong Hanliang is very, very good looking, okay? His 顾惜朝 in 逆水寒 will forever be a white moonlight for me. It's old, but anyone out there who's watched that drama with Zhang Zhiling and Zhong Hanliang, Li Xiaoran, Song Jia, the wuxia drama 逆水寒. 顾惜朝, oh my god. His curly hair is one of the best curly hair in Chinese dramaland. For ancient men, look. Jiao Wenjun's 小李飞刀 curly hair is also good looking. But 顾惜朝 is the top. To me, curly hair period drama guy. Particularly when he's on a horse. When he's riding a horse. Wow. Anyone who's watched that before? 顾惜朝. Ah. One thing for those actors I will give them, if not anything else, is to stay functioning in the drama land. They will do so much, not just skincare, but also exercises and gym visits, and keep themselves in shape so that at the age of 40, 50, 60, they still have like muscles and their body shape are great. And you can't say that for most of the other people who have an office job. You know Yu Hewei, the actor who played Cao Cao in Advisors Alliance, who played the boss in Ideal City. I think he is close to 50, right? Something like that, or in his 50 already. But he has, like, you can't tell because he's always like he's dressed up. You can't tell, but he like there are videos online of him at home doing those workouts. And wow, wow, his body shape for his age. I'm like, impressive. 大叔, uncle, like the good-looking uncle. Yeah, he's 71 year. He was born in 71, so that's like what? 50. Exactly 50 now. Yu Hewei is 50 years old. And he doesn't need to show his muscles. Like, he doesn't have roles that needs him to expose his abs, but he has them. And I'm like, wow. I can't even imagine, because when my father was 50 years old, oh my god, he already had a big beer belly and that type of stuff. This stream has gone off track. I don't even know what we are talking about. I'm just randomly chatting about stuff. She and your husband? Nope, haven't. Fandom, yeah, he's been around for a while, hey? Yu Hewei is 50, yeah. Yeah, he's 50. Because he was born in 71, so this year is 21, right? Okay, I'm gonna be away for a few seconds, no, a few minutes, and I'll be back. Seconds would be too fast. Okay. I'm back. So actually we've been here for about an hour and a half almost. Time flies, hey? And random, or like just because of people are chatting random things, it still can go by so quickly. Every time before I start live streaming, I was like hoping I can have a theme about it. But pretty much every time I just fail. And it becomes a random chat. Yes, my imaginary pet is based on that too. Because I drew it during the time of Guardian and I just kept it. It's my dream to have a cat one day or two, but not now. Not the best time right now. I hope in the future, really, we can have more shorter dramas. I love the 12 episodes ones. I really do. I think it's perfect. I don't want 40, 50, 60 episodes long draggy drama that has 3 subplot lines and 2 side couples that nobody cares about. I'd much prefer like 12 episodes length drama. And even some of those 12 episodes can get cut down even further, really, honestly. If we really care about quality. There was a time that Chinese dramas are only 8 episodes long. That was the beginning of it. And for Japan, for the longest time, the most popular length of a drama is 11. The old 80s, 90s dramas are 11 episodes. And they're great. They're 1 hour each, and they're just so packed with plot turning and twists, and it's just, after you watch 11 episodes, it's more story and more shit happens than say a 40 episodes Chinese drama often. Really. And I much prefer that type of content. I just don't want to waste my life, you know. Every time, like, looking at me, like, I have to deal with like 20 dramas sometimes, and each of them is like 30, 40 episodes. I'm like, oh my god. Seriously. Yeah, some of the old and do you know, like, at early days of Chinese television series, when an 8 episode drama came out, they will say 长篇电视剧, long form television series back in the 80s and 90s. When it's only 8 episodes, they'll call it 长篇电视剧. Can you believe that? How much we've fallen from then. Yes, 12 to 24, really, yeah. I agree. I think for most dramas, 12 to 24 is enough. 40 needs to be like historical saga, really. Like 40 is like, you have to a couple of generation story put into one. Like from the grandfather leading up to the father generation and to the younger kids. There are 3 generations in the 40 episodes. And that's enough, really. But these days, people just make ridiculously long dramas for no good reason. So, when I see like a period with like popular actors leading, and then you see like 40, 50, 60 episodes, that's the sign that it's not gonna be a good drama. Just by looking at that, it's pretty much 99% guaranteed it's gonna be like filled with meaningless and poorly written conversations. Longest drama I've watched. If we don't count those like endless soaps that goes on years and after years and years, that type of drama, if it's just production recent years, probably Legend of the Dragon Pearl, 龙珠传奇, a couple of years ago with Xianxia and Qin Junjie. That's like 98 episodes. And I've actually watched them all, and I'm very much regretting the fact that I've watched it. And it's a shame. Because of how ridiculous the scriptwriter is, really, and then what happened later after the drama has finished airing and all the drama that happened afterwards. I'm like, what a wasted effort. So I hope dramas can be shorter and nicer and better thought of and then more diverse. You know, I'm so tired of the same type of story happening over and over and over and over, just with different actors and different configuration of a female and a male actors put together, and it's the same thing over and over again. The type of contemporary romantic drama that just is ridiculous about the particular professions it describes, and the type of period dramas that are also like just low budget and then nothing interesting happens and people are not even good looking, or the endless Xianxia drama of a teacher and a student falling in love. Come on, can we just break out of that cycle of just ridiculous, boring setup? Whether it's between a guy and a girl, or it's between a guy and a guy, I don't know, it's just always the shifu and the disciple. I'm like, oh, come on, really? That's all you can come up with? Too many Xianxia. But it's just me. I know some people really dig Xianxia. I'm just like, oversaturation for Avenue X. The worst genre is Xianxia, okay? The second is contemporary professional drama. Under the pretense, contemporary professional drama, which is only a cheap, shitty, illogical, poor acting romance. Those two types of dramas are the dramas that I hate most in Chinese dramaland. But it's just me. The Justice. I'll see if I have time. I know it just started. Is it? No. Is it? Yes. No. I am confused about that title. Is it the Zhang Xingcheng and Cai Wenjing one? Like for this type of like student and teacher type of drama, when it first happened, you know, or like the earlier ones, people are very, you know, it's new, it's fresh, and it's interesting stuff. I mean, it's old setup, but you know, like the first round of those dramas, at least, you know, some part of it is still attractive. But once it gets overplayed and overdone, and everybody is doing it, like how many we have now, right? The one 虫子 I think is one of those. The 人民 and 肖战玉骨遥 is something like that. There's another one. I can't even remember its name. That is pretty much the same setup too. And counting in like the this year's 千古绝尘 ancient love poetry. I mean, pretty much every Xianxia somehow has an element of that, and we're like, why? Why? What is the magic of this setup that everybody is just so crazy about? You know, I really want the Xianxia to go wild. Can we have a cyberpunk Xianxia? I would be very much like that. Because think about that, right? Like, if their world is a reflection of ours, now we're in the technology age with internet and AI and whatever, big data. Can we have gods who are like dressed in leather jackets and rides their magical, I don't know, motorcycle that's powered by whatever, and just like, can we just have that? Can we have a cyberpunk Xianxia? I'm so tired of everybody dressed in close to snow blindness, white, floaty, long sleeve, and flying in the sky, and just supposedly they're in control of the fate of the entire existence, including us, but the only thing they care about is falling in love with each other, and along the way, F up our normal humans' living space. Think about those Xianxia. It's always about, oh, the world is gonna get destroyed, all those mere mortals are all gonna die and we have to save them, but the only thing we care about is falling in love. And it's pretty much because we fall in love that shit happens to them. That's the Xianxia setup, which is like, why? Leave us normal mortals alone, you gods. F off. You know, like when I watch this drama, honest opinion from a human at that point is, pretty goddess, you know, like, or pretty god. Can you just cough. You know, leave us human alone. We do not care about your dramas. Just don't fuss up because you have some kind of 10,000 years piled up sexual frustration. Come on. Honest opinion from Avenue X. So, Xianxia is definitely my trigger point. Naja Reborn, yeah, I know that animation. Yeah, Cyberpunk God story would be cool. I want to see that. Or like, even if you don't do that, just give us color. Can we have a Xianxia drama where everybody is dressed in oversaturated crazy color but that are pretty? The red, the green, the blue, the yellow, explosive colors. Can we just have that? Can we not just have everybody who is like they're asexual, like they just want icy cold color on them? Gray and white. Also, it's no longer sexy anymore. Because a lot of the traditional gods in paintings from ancient China, they're so revealing. They're so revealing. Their arms are all bare. They just have the female gods, Fei Tian, they just have a bra, like their torso, their arm, and they have those armband that's golden and it's so sexy. And like, can we have that too? It's like, why can't... these days you look at all those Xianxia gods, they're like, they barely reveal their neck. They're like that. Come on, really? Yeah, and they don't even bother to put their hair up. Like, at least I put the effort in to make my hair go up. I've started ranting about it too much. No, I don't think that the dress code is too much of a... Like, if you dress up as Fei Tian, it's definitely okay. Because they're dancing, like Fei Tian style dancing. That's very well known. Dunhuang kind of style dancing. And all the ladies are dressed like the wall painting gods. And they're very, very barely dressed. Still, looking very pretty. Yeah, because God is like... And do you not realize that even a lot of those statues in Buddhism, they have like cleavage? First is the Bodhisattva, often they wear very low cut, and even like they're bare chested. And then for those little female like fairy like gods, at least give us color, like, yeah. Yeah. I think we're just gonna do 2 hours today, so we have like 25 minutes left. And I'll be looking at your live chat. Bargain Queen? No, I'm not gonna. I watched 5 minutes and I ran away. I ran away with Scream. I can't watch it. It's just like, the bus stop? When the bus stop scene happened, I'm like, no! No! We almost tripped over and kissed each other type of plot. Please, come on, it's 21st century, it's 2021, can we just not do that? I don't understand what is going on in those scriptwriters' head. No, that drama is a waste of life. No. I deserve better, okay? When I see that, I was like, I deserve better. Bye. I did watch a couple of Mirrors. If anybody, I've talked about that already. I probably will make a review on it. I hope more shorter dramas are like that, and I'd be more than happy. You know, like 12 episodes dramas. Which museum? I hope you're not asking me. Oh, you're probably talking to other people. These days, do not dare to go to any public places. Yeah, there are way too many dramas, so nobody can catch up. Don't feel bad about it. Jolene. No. It belongs to the dramas I've just ranted about not so long ago during this live stream. About I have standards. I need a very good looking guy to lead me into a period idol drama. Okay. Princess Agent 2 rumored being in the process of making? Really? I haven't heard about that at all. Not anywhere. I don't think it will happen. Think about all the actors who have moved on. Jolene has become much bigger. She's not gonna do a drama like that anymore. Donglun has also become much bigger since then. And the particular genre of drama that is Princess Agent is kind of like not the popular ones anymore. Thinking for their own career development, I doubt they do it. Unless the money is ridiculous. But if the money is ridiculous, that means there would be that much money going into the production. Which means the production quality will be poor. So, kind of awkward situation. Thank you for your super chat. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, because in Chinese it will be che che, but I don't think it will be that. Son of Youth. Son of Youth, what is the Chinese name? I know the English name, can't picture it. There are too many dramas ongoing in my head. Son of Youth. Son of Youth. It's a recent period drama, right? Oh, Son of Youth. Oh, okay, that one. See? Like I'm... yeah, obviously, Yu Lou Chun. Yeah, that drama, I'm not gonna watch it. It's too ridiculous. From the moment I realized it's trying to plagiarize Hong Lou Meng, I'm like, really? Seriously? You think every Chinese person is uneducated as you are? Goodbye, okay? You wanna plagiarize the greatest sort of classic romantic novel ever. In my opinion, ever, okay? Just because how complicated that story is, and it gets rewritten, and it gets re-edited, and it has so much layer on layer on layer of almost like a level of coding that's in the book. Like some people live their entire life just to trying to figure out what the book is about, and you have the audacity of trying to plagiarize a 200-year-old, 300-year-old novel. That is like a symbol for Chinese culture. Good luck, goodbye. His story disregards logic fully. Nothing makes sense. And it's pretty much the same thing for all the dramas he has a hand in when he deals with the story. If he doesn't touch the story at all, it will be better. If he in any way touches the story, it's effed. Because this guy is not... Okay, he's only shrewd as a businessman, but he's not intelligent enough to write a logically making sense plot. Things that needs to be set up and then reviewed and then like all the holes needs to be filled and all the links need to be make sense. He's uneducated, he has like very little historical knowledge and knowledge in literature, and he doesn't understand logic, this guy. I bet his math is really bad. He just cannot make sense, like he cannot join two things and figure out, okay, because for this to happen, in a timeline linear fashion, we have to make this happen, this happen, this happen, therefore that makes sense. His brain is incapable of considering that. That's my opinion about if he messes up with writings, he will do that. So his story never makes a logical sense. When you think about it, he only wants to write that really strong part. The part when the character walks up and slaps the other's face. You know, he wants that moment to happen, but he doesn't want to bother figuring out how to make it happen that makes sense. So that's Yu Zheng's writing. And I'm like, goodbye. I don't want to waste time on somebody who literally doesn't know what he's doing. Romance of Tiger and Rose, no recent news. I don't know if they can get those two person back just because they are super busy these days, right? And much more popular than last year. So trying to put Ding Yuxie and Zhao Lusi back into one crew is gonna be a mighty task. To figuring out like where can we jam in you two into the schedule that both of you are free. That probably will be the hardest thing. Obviously money too. It's like they're gonna be much more expensive to hire this time around. Reality. Official blessing. Well, they're still making it. They haven't stopped. Because I don't think they want to give up. But in terms of once they've made it, whether it's gonna see the day of light, who knows these days. So they're still filming. That's all I know about Heaven Official's blessing. I wouldn't hold my hope too high for these two. Where the hell is Hu Ge? I don't know. Yeah, he has a drama, but we do not know when it's gonna come out, and that drama is a little bit worrisome based on its trailer. It looks very stream of consciousness and it's very not grounded, but the story is set up in the 80s, 90s Shanghai, which needs a lot of groundedness. So Wang Jiawei is good at doing his film directing of a very poetic kind of screen storytelling style that really doesn't quite lead anywhere. But because of his strong personal style, it still sells and people still like it. But once it goes to a drama form, that may not work anymore. Because 1 hour and a half or 2 hours is very different from 8 or 10 hours stuff. So I'm keeping my expectation very minimum and low so that I don't get disappointed. 好一行 私日历, right? The famous story of 太子爷私日历. The crown prince is tearing off calendar one after another. He's still tearing off his calendar. You know, honestly, maybe it's just not Tencent's year. It's just Tencent is not getting the love. I probably dropped off for a bit again because it flashed and disappeared and came back again. I have. I've even played Qing on its music on my channel. Do you not watch my videos? I've even done Qing adaptations of its songs. So I have. And I know they have a Japanese dubbed version that is ongoing, but I haven't checked it out because I don't understand Japanese. Like if I click open the Japanese version, I would just be saying, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's what it sounds like in Japanese, but I wouldn't understand a word. So maybe only the names. Joy of Life, while they're making or probably in pre-production. No other news. Haven't seen it. Yeah, Joy of Life, waiting, still waiting. Just don't keep too much hope up for BLs recently. Probably it's all gonna be pretty low key. I still hope they all get aired, but who knows. I think Word of Honor took away too much of my energy because ever since Word of Honor, I didn't do any arts for dramas anymore. Thank you for Tom. Wow, really? You don't have to give me a super chat. That is that big, because YouTube takes quite a big cut of it. I can't remember what is the proportion, but they take quite a lot of money. from like if people do subscription, like there are subscription open up for YouTubers now, or this type of I guess, because for this type of direct they're gonna take a cut of it too. So don't have to do a big thank you very much, but you don't have to do a 49.99 super chat. It's too super. You're just giving money to YouTube. Thank you, but don't need to do that, really. Google is rich enough, let's just say. So I haven't been doing much art after Word of Honor, but honestly it's also because most of the dramas I've watched, even though they're dramas I like, I just don't see like in any way it might be needed, like stickers, you know, and other type of stuff by people. You know, like for example, Remembrance of Things Past is really good, but like I'm not gonna create any art based on it. It's a short drama, I like it, but what should I do? The sticker of do not commit suicide squad. You know, or is like try to keep it up, but you know you are kind of effed up living in 21st century big metropolis sticker. You know, it's like what? Or even like the Bond, you know, is like a keep your blood pressure low stickers. Don't watch me, otherwise you're gonna go crazy stickers. So there's very little motivation for me to do drawings and stuff for those things. Although I do have a little bit, I'm still thinking about it, whether I should venture into something, which is making costumes for BJD dolls. But first, the dolls are so expensive and hard to collect to start with. Every good one that I can look up and really want one, and I look at the price, okay? And then I look at how long I have to wait, which is like 6 months to a year for all the BJD good ones I want. I'm like, oh, seriously? It's pretty much like getting pregnant and then waiting for your baby to come. I'm like, Yeah, you can see on the sofa. That is a project that is ongoing. This one has lining, so it's a little bit tricky to figure out, but hiya. It would be more interesting to make costumes for those like 1/3 size dolls, so like about 68 to 73 centimeters tall, and they will have basically 1/3 the size of a real human's costume. So it's big enough to have enough detail, because if it's too small, you can't do a lot of things because it's too small. If it's big enough, a certain proportion, it's possible to do a relatively speaking reasonable costume for a doll of that size that is still not ridiculously hard. But then I have to have a doll to start with. And I've looked everywhere. And they're so expensive plus long waiting. 6 months to a year. I'm like, what? Really? Oh god. But eBay, often you get like fake ones, or eBay sometimes they're ridiculously expensive because, and I'm like, no. I've even looked at how to make it yourself. and then I was like, okay, it's a little bit too much work. There are two types. One is you do it with the clay, you shape it, and then you create basically a base mold and you send it to a really molding company to make a mold off your mold, and that gets stringed up as a BJD. Or you can do it yourself with a kind of pouring a mold into something, but that still is very complicated. I'm like, I don't have a studio to make a mess of it. Although I would be very interested in doing it, because I think I probably can do it if I really want to. I just need to know the process of getting it done. It's so complicated. So that is also, I may just not have all the resources I need to make it. But sculpturing is not the hardest thing for me. It's just all the process is complicated. Recent dramas, I don't think there are any super good ones. 3D print? 3D printing. 3D printing dolls, you have to have a 3D printer, and then there's a size restriction of how big it can go because of 3D printing, and then the color of the material too. A lot of the 3D printings are the grayish material that wouldn't really work. You kind of have to create it and then send it to a molding company to give you a skin version back again. Goodbye. For people who are going offline. Good night, good evening, good day, whatever. So, BJD is too complicated. Any BJD masters who happen to be watching my video right now, you can email me and tell me how to do, like what is the reliable source of how to get it made yourself, or like where to get it. I mean, a long time ago, years and years ago, I did have one many years ago. It's a Chinese local brand one, but I don't know where it is now. It's not with me. And I did make costumes for it, but it's too long ago. Sword Snow Shrine. Really? October? I haven't heard about it. I'd be looking forward to it. I want a wuxia. Give me a wuxia, a real wuxia, not the nobody fights wuxia. If it cannot fight even close to the level of the ultimate node, then it is not a wuxia. Okay, my opinion. If a real period wuxia drama cannot fight as well as the ultimate node, which is not a wuxia, then I don't accept it as a wuxia. It kind of defeats its purpose. Like, it's not even wuxia anymore. Oh yeah, the demi-semi thing. It's so bad. Nobody can fight. Nobody can fight. It's all just cut, and slow-mo, and cut, and slow-mo. I mean, you can't even have one shot of an actor who is able to turn the stick on his hand or her hand for like a couple of circles and grab it. Like one close-up of it. You don't even see that. Or like with the actual actor, not a body double. Like you can't even see that. Like how am I supposed to believe it's a wuxia? Old days, Zhao Wenzhuo, Wu Jing, Jiao Wenjun, they all fight themselves. they would be swinging the sticks and they will be playing the flute and they will be playing it on their hands and it turns and they grab it. I mean, this is like actually with the real actor doing that, and they bother to learn the skills to be on screen. Whereas these days, the guys can't even hold the sword steady. And even when it's a fake sword, it's not even steel. And they'd be like this. They're holding it and they'd be like this. I'm like, seriously? So it has to be a good wuxia, otherwise I wouldn't accept it. I hate slow-mo wuxia. Okay, I hate slow-mo wuxia. Come on. Oh, I have to, Japanese names is very, very hard for me to remember their English pronunciation, but you know, there's an IP in Japan that's really famous. 浪客剑心. Okay, I can only say the English Chinese name, but I think people probably know which one I'm talking about. They have film versions, they have live actions, and the actor is so good. Okay, the actor is so good. He fights for real, and his speed is like really faster than normal people. When he takes out the sword and it goes back, or when he's running, you know, like all that is like, it's like 1.7 speed of normal human, but still it's real. Yes. And I'm like, I so appreciate people who want to put that effort in to do justice to an IP. And it's shameful that it doesn't happen in Chinese drama, and considering wuxia is like China's invention. Yeah, it gets but if you look at their choreography videos, like in practice room, you see how fast he moves. He really just moves really fast too. and the taking out of the sword and coming back is really cool too, like really fast. And for most of the people, they wouldn't be able to do it without practicing a lot. They would probably stab themselves. Favorite wuxia. I think the old TVB ones are really good. I still like those old TVB Hong Kong made ones. And maybe just emotional attachment from childhood, but I like those old ones. Really, really old ones. Ladybug, you're welcome. You're making it sound very serious about education. This is not education. This is probably just information sharing, really. Chinese animation movie. Classic ones would be really old ones in the 50s and 60s, 50s. Yeah, some couple of them are really good. And really daring, I'd say. Because literally using watercolor to make animation is insane. And Chinese people did it. And so that was like one of the greatest invention from China, which is watercolor, Chinese style watercolor animation. Insane amount of work. It's kind of classic. Yeah, the little tadpoles looking for their mother. It was so beautiful. And then the recent ones, obviously, probably the most popular one would be Naja in recent years. 小蝌蚪找妈妈. You should try to find it, which is little yeah, tadpole, like the baby frog looking for their mother. It's all watercolor. It's insane. I don't know how they did it, but it's kind of like a technique that nobody uses anymore because of how complicated it is. Oh, and there's one animation that really just got my childhood like quite effed up. It's the most like saddest character I've ever seen, and that made me cry like a baby when I was a kid, which is 雪娃娃. I don't know how many people know about that. The snowman and the rabbit. Oh, I can't even think about it. I think about it, I'm gonna cry. The very well known The Snowman and the Rabbit, or the bunny, like however you want to translate that. That was my childhood pain. Childhood pain. It's so old. I don't think international audiences will know, but don't go look for it because it's gonna break your heart. It's so good and so sad. It's about a snowman and a rabbit. Yeah, the snowman melt. That's why it's really sad. You know, you know why it's sad, right? When you heard that? 雪孩子，应该是雪孩子吧? I think literally means snow child. It's a very well-known character in Chinese animation history. Very beloved and absolutely adorable. Yeah, 雪孩子. FLX typed it correctly. No, the rabbit is a rabbit, but snowman is a snowman. So snowman eventually melted. It's cute, and it's absolutely adorable, but it breaks your heart. I can't deal with it. I think about it, I'll cry. So, my childhood psychological trauma of the snowman melting is really, really bad. It's very, very bad, okay? What else? Yeah, those are some classic ones. I don't know whether it's a Western story, but it's a very standard, normal story about a rabbit and a snowman being good friends. Golden conch. I'm not quite sure what's the Chinese title. Dank pigeon. About what you're asking. And there's also a character in Chinese animation which I love, which is the deer, the night-colored deer, who is like a forest spirit, like a king of the forest, a white deer, but he has like a magical kind of power. Oh, that deer is so pretty too. Oh. That's also one of the characters I absolutely love, which is a night-colored deer. 九色鹿. And there's an actor in China who would remind me of that deer for some reason. And it doesn't make sense because it's an animation drawn white deer and a real actor, a real person, and there's nothing connecting them together. But every time I see this actor, in my brain I see that deer for some reason. I don't know why. My brain is weird, okay? It has weird self-made connections that is definitely done without me, like giving it consent. And I'm not gonna tell you which actor that is, but every time I see that actor, I see the 九色鹿 in my head. It's a secret. I'm not gonna tell you. Go figure. 九色鹿 is a guy, I think. Is it? Because 九色鹿 is like a god, really. The night-colored deer is a god. He's not really just a deer. Wow, it's already 11:37. Time goes by quite fast. Today is a relatively quiet stream. We don't have too many people, which is good. too much attention is not necessarily the best thing. Particularly these days when entertainment business in China is like is pretty much like insane anyway. So I have preemptively and decided is like no, and I mean I'm pretty much always like that, but I have decided I'm gonna be just confirming with myself about I only care about 纸片人. I only care about the characters, okay? And I will never really give too much attention and whatever to the actual person behind it. It does not matter. I just love 纸片人. I only love two-dimensional characters on paper or on script, and that just happens to be presented by a real person, but then I'll consider them as two-dimensional too, because they appear to me on a two-dimensional freaking screen within the frame that I know 3 inches outside of that frame there's a reflecting board that's trying to make their skin look better, and a boomstick that's trying to record their voice. So they're just all flat. They're all two-dimensional. Nobody deserves too much of my attention. And definitely, okay, no real emotional investigation. I mean, I will emotionally invest into characters and good storytelling. But for like the real people who play those roles, it's like, if you're good, good. You know, if shit happens, goodbye. Like, leave me alone. It's too insane. It's too crazy. Nothing makes sense, you know, in this business, and too many crazy things and too many crazy people. And for your own mental health, it's just like, bye. You know, for most people, yeah, you have a cool character, I'll enjoy that. You know, if and obviously if a drama is popular, I like the characters, and when there's like, while it's airing, you know, like there are different types of interviews that's related to their role, I mean, I'm gonna go and watch it. But that's it. It's like, 纸片人 won't betray you. I mean, not technically correct, because the writer can just F it up too. Do you know, like, 徐雷, I'm calling out your name, 徐雷. The writer of the Note, okay, series. That guy butchers his own characters worse than anyone else. So, I'm calling out 徐雷. It's like, you. So nobody cares about what he writes for his characters anymore. It's like the canon characters are protected by the book fans, and they would not acknowledge his effed up new written edition of the previous stories. They would just say, whatever he writes, we disregard that, and our own fan fictions is better. You know, it has gotten to that point. So sometimes 纸片人 can get fucked up too, but generally speaking, okay, it's much safer. It's much safer. Xu Lei. I'm not even the Notes series 盗墓笔记 fan, really. Anyway, I barely read a novel or two. I've scanned through a couple of them, but very fast, and I don't like the way he writes it. It's like his writing is very, very, just like middle school standard quality. But I think it's the characters that captured a lot of people's imagination. So I'm not even a book fan, but I just absolutely, I'm baffled by how the writer himself can just F up his own characters like that. It is very, very wrong to do that. But then, you know, it's their decision. they can decide to do it and you can decide not to accept it. Okay, we're running very, very long now. Let's see. I mean, I can go up to 2.5 hours, and I'll call it a day, midday on my end. So it'll be a nice total number. Yeah, I just heard before I sat down, is like he is gonna do Zhanghai Hua. I'm like, stop! Go away! Somebody stop this guy! No! No! Screaming. And I really do think Zhang Qiling, so far at this point in history, the best actor who did Zhang Qiling is Xiao Yuliang. And you either ask him back or you get a better actor who can do a better job than he does. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work for me anymore. I mean, like Yunding Tiangong, right? When you look at Yunding Tiangong, you really just, even like you doubt about existence. I look at Yunding Tiangong, I'm like, why does this thing exist? It's so embarrassing. And the actor is like, particularly the Bai Shu, who played Wu Xie, who is also Duan Yu in Tianlong Babu. This guy needs to, I mean, either his manager needs to keep a leash on him, or he just needs to sort out his brain. Because he sends out those posts on social media that are just like, what? After the airing of Yunding Tiangong, he sends out this, oh my god, so green tea, right, in Chinese, so green tea post. And then after Tianlong Babu, he sends another one. And it's just like the way it's written is like, do you like, are you a fan of like 青春疼痛文学? The youth painful literature, that type of stuff is like, what's going on with you? It's so weird. And the first time I've seen anybody who does that, I mean, in a way, it's kind of cute, and at least he speaks his mind. But then on the other hand, it's like, you know, when I think about Ren Jialun, Alan Ren's 国超文集, right? It feels much more cuter and a reflection of a certain side of that personality that is rather adorable. But Bai Shu, when he sends out those two posts, they just make me very confused about what he wants to do. And what he cares about. Like, it's just weird. Okay, anybody who does that is weird. But anyway, we're not gonna talk too much about Ultimate Note or Notebook series because I'm not an expert of it. The entire genre is pretty, like, I'm pretty indifferent to it. But who knows, like, even J.K. Rowling keeps writing stuff about Harry Potter that not everybody likes it. Because once you've cashed in on that big IP, right, you just want to keep pushing a couple of things out of it, but they don't necessarily always get the best sort of feedback. There are plenty of writers who F up their big IP. I mean, come on. Like, Martin has, I think he has given up on Game of Thrones. It no longer wants to write the 6th and 7th book because he probably doesn't know how it should end either. He's dug too many holes and put down too many clues, and everyone on internet who is clever enough has kind of figured out all the possible ending for all the characters to tie up all the ends. And he probably has read everything people have talked about on those forums, and he's like, I cannot outsmart the internet. They've stopped every possible line that this story can go down, and I can no longer write a surprising ending for it. And this story has been going on for decades. It's too long. And I'm too old. I'm just gonna give up. I feel like that's Game of Thrones. What is going on with that? And that shows maybe an author should have thought through the whole thing before they actually publish the first book. They probably should have laid down all the details so that they are assured, and they have the confidence it's gonna run to the end happily, right? Right now for Game of Thrones, it's just so sad. It's like 我不知道怎么编，我编不下去了。You know, you feel the writer is saying 我编不下去了。I cannot continue to make up a story anymore. I'm like I can no longer do it. It's a battle that's been running too long, and time has killed it. So sad. I love Snape too, but I think a large part of like my love for Snape is because of Alan Rickman. I love him too much. And I miss him very much. And he has the best voice I've ever heard. From a man. He has the best voice ever. So because of Alan Rickman, I love Snape. I love Snape more than any other characters in Harry Potter. I'm such a fan of Alan Rickman, and it's so sad. I don't know, I just love everything about him. He's a good actor. You know, he's really good, and he just has such a great voice. You know, like I like voice, right? Like by this point, my viewers should know. I'm crazy about good voices. For people who just came online, I'm about to end this stream. It's another pointless and structureless and random chat of stuff flying everywhere that I don't know how I'm gonna time code this, so I'm probably not going to. I can time code this because I fly everywhere in this live stream. Tom Hiddleston, yeah. Tom Hiddleston has a good voice too. His voice is more like the super soft type of voice. He's always talking like that to you. Morgan Freeman is a guy who can read a menu and make it sound like Shakespeare, right? That's how people think about his voice. So he's the magical reader of any content. Thirsting? No, this is not thirsting. Who did I thirst over? Like on my Discord server, we just opened a new channel called Celebrity Crush, I think. And immediately became the most active server, and people just start to put like gifs of abs and stuff over there, and it just got really ridiculous. And like everybody posts on that channel, so that channel just becomes the most active one, and I was like, seriously. So for people who are already there, you know the Celebrity Crush channel is crazy. But for people who are not on Discord, later. I talked about it earlier. Probably end of this month. Next month, I'm gonna open it up again. Right now, it's closed. It's not opening. It's not for new people. Because we've had a couple of episodes of crazy people coming in and just trying to, yeah. So I closed it for now. Sir Attenborough, yeah, a good voice too. Yeah, I agree. There are a couple of really good English actors and celebrities who really can do it really well. Armitage. His voice, huh? Richard. I know him in a lot of things. Somehow I never quite remember what his voice sounds like. Maybe it doesn't, like, maybe the particular vibration doesn't work on my ear, but I do. Yeah, somehow his voice always just, like, doesn't leave an impression for me, but it's just me. Okay. I have weird configurations, you know, like the part I can't figure out about a deer and a person. I don't understand how it works, but every time it just works. And there's no reason behind it. I'll never find out. Oh, and also, if anybody, I have weird, but it's not, there's a word for it, which is like you link different senses together. I don't have that. Like when I smell something or see something, I don't see a color, but certain numbers mean different colors to me. And it always has been. I don't know why. but it's very, very random, really. It just is, but then it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, syncretism, but I don't have that. I don't have that. Like some people really do have it, like for real, but I don't. Like when they smell things, they see color, which is really cool. But like I wouldn't. I just think certain numbers have a color. That's it. But then that's it. And only a couple of numbers, actually, not all the numbers, which is also very weird. I don't have a color for every number. I only have a color for a couple of them. So I don't know why. Nothing makes, like, there are a lot of things that wouldn't make sense anyway. And probably it should just stay that way. What is going on with the Oath of Love? No idea. Hunan Television decided not to air it. That's all we know. They are pretty much like they are like in a lot of or they're under a lot of scrutiny for sure right now, because first a couple of their top hosts, anchors have been in a lot of scandals in recent months, and not just one, right? A couple of them. Qianfeng is already. Wang Han has been involved in things previously that was like a little bit troublesome. He Zhong has been implicated in things too. Who else? Li Weijia, the Tian did it up. Recently has just been he's been a spokesman for a thing that turned out to be a fraud, and a lot of people got their money cheated out of their pocket. So he's in a lot of trouble too. So Hunan Television, plus it is the most successful provincial television station in China. So they do a lot of things that has a lot to do with money, popular actors, traffic, all that. They're at the forefront. So they've been going to a lot of conferences and meetings and being reminded of a lot of things recently. So I guess they're just trying to keep it super low-key. And they're in a lot of trouble now. So who knows what is going on with their big plan of things. It's the most successful one, so it will get most of the attention. Maybe that's why they're, I don't know, have no contacts in that. No idea what is going on. But don't get surprised, because like dramas can get taken down 15 minutes before it airs. We've seen that. Do you still remember Eagle Flag? Back in 2019. Eagle Flag. The Liu Haoran, Song Zu'er, Chen Ruoxuan Tribes and Empire series of story, 九州. Right, that drama was set to air on a day, and literally 15 minutes before it aired, it got taken down. It got, like, the announcement was like, we're not gonna air it today. And so they aired it a month later. And we still don't know why, it just happens. So Unless it has aired, okay? There's no guarantee that it's gonna show up anytime. It just happens. Will Happy Camp stop? I don't know. I have no idea. The Happy Camp problem is because they still are provincial television stations. So in a way, they're not nationally owned, but they are called 事业单位. So they're not in China. If you're in a 事业单位, like hospital, that type of structure, it's not 100% private, and you would be in a type of 编制, which is your positions is like, it's hard to explain because a lot of countries don't have it. Like you don't have 事业编, so it's impossible to explain what 事业编 is to people who do not have that in their country. So it's not 100% private. It's like a it's not civil servants, but it's semi, like that type of situation. Anyway, so they're not purely running on themselves. And for Happy Camp, the couple of hosts that are really famous, and they have a lot of fans themselves. For years now, it has been that the fandoms of the actors and actresses who go on Happy Camp, the fans, official fan club, will give gifts to those hosts so that they will take better care of their stars on the show. And it has become an unspoken rule among the fandoms of those famous actors, actresses who are gonna go on Happy Camp. Because of that, those people got a lot of freebies that are not just freebies, okay? They're sometimes extremely expensive luxury brand stuff specially bought for them. And it can get quite ridiculous. Sometimes it can get to literally buy gold bars, I think, for those hosts so that they take better care of their stars from those people's fan club. And that is stepping on the line. Okay, that's a level of bribery that if it really gets like, like they can end up in, because they're not really, it's complicated. Okay, television stations is complicated. So that type of thing has been going on. It has been exposed and putting all those hosts and anchors in a lot of trouble. It's been going on for a long time. And the gifts that those fandoms like give to Happy Camp, it's not just a card or a cake, It's like hundreds, thousands dollars worth of stuff. And every week there's a show. Think about how much money they've gotten through that channel over the last how many years? So Hunan television is really also in a lot of trouble. It's just one of the aspects of the troubles they have. Oh, and if you don't know about it, in China, when you invite stars to go on your television variety shows, right, different variety shows, usually the television station will give you money, right? So if you are an actor or singer and they invite you to go on a show, you'll get paid. Happy Camp is the one, and I think the only, that is free. It's like actors and actresses want to go on the show, and Happy Camp does not pay them for being on the show. They probably take care of your transportation and your food, obviously, but they would not pay money to the guests. The guests come for free because it's Happy Camp. So you see how important Happy Camp is and special it is, and it has like its unique position in the ecosystem of things. Yeah, that's Happy Camp. Happy Camp is different from every other show. So, bribery. I mean, how far can this bribery thing go, right? And if it actually gets really, really targeted and people really want to find out how much money those people have gotten in the years past, it's not going to be a pretty number for anyone to look at. But then it's not going to be big money for them either, because they've made much more money in other things than this. So the money that they get from the fandoms are still much smaller in comparison to everything they can earn from other things. Yeah, entertainment business. The deeper you dig, the crazier it gets. I'm not sure about Day Day Up, whether Day Day Up and Happy Camp are the same. Happy Camp definitely is, I think is like, because I've asked for people who are in this business and they told me that. Can't remember about Day Day Up, but Happy Camp is special. Happy Camp is the only special one. Okay, so that should be, because it's 2 hours and a half. We cannot keep going forever. Wherever you are, take care, okay? On this planet, and whatever hours it is, if it's midnight, you should go to sleep now. And take care. Exercise. Exercise. And keep yourself in shape, okay? That way you can live longer. You're gonna see more melons and teas and dramas. You know, it'd be cool if I don't know, like when we are all old and still white-haired and can still sit down with a stream and we talk about, do you remember 50 years ago during that August how much shit happened? Yeah, that was an interesting period of time. Okay, 活久见, okay, for the purpose of 活久见, to achieve live long enough to see 活久见. Let's all try our best, okay? The 活久见 army, okay? Live long enough and we'll see it all. Take care.